I'm no John Valentine.
Oh, okay.
Welcome to a comic book look.
What is up?
Comic book look, issue 31. We are in a new environment. Where are we?
We're in the Crivo El Caso de John.
Yeah, boy. Yep, we're switching it up. We'll let John host a show every once in a while. Come on.
Exactly.
And so we're going to have a good show for you. Issue 31, a comic book look, your weekly TV show on comics, everything relating to comics. I'm your host, Tom. Host John, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, dominating comics.
Exactly.
All right. Well, anyway, 31 is going to be a good show. So what are we kind of talking about today, Mr. Red Glasses? Maybe that brings up something.
It just might, I don't know, like on the frames of these.
Good.
Sith Overlord swagger. I don't know. Fans were treated to a fancy bag with Darth Maul on it, and then you get the glasses, and then John Carpenter cards.
Oh yeah, exactly. Some sick John Carpenter trading cards. We were trading in line. I mean, it's sitting in.
Almost started like kind of a Pokemon game. We were bored waiting for the movie to start.
We were bored during the movie, so we.
Oh man!
But I forgot my red glasses at home. But no, Phantom Menace, Episode 1
and 3 Dizzle. Oh man! And what a treat that was!
Oh yeah,
right?
Exactly. There's nothing like a movie that's not shot in 3D to be transferred to 3D. It's great.
I bet Titanic was better.
Yes, I'm almost gonna guarantee Titanic was probably better, but it's still in the Star Wars realm, and we went.
Support.
We are a comic book fan, but Star Wars. There's always Star Wars books going out, so it's in the lexicon. We can still talk about it on our show. It's our show. We can do it.
Yeah.
And we went, and it was fun. I mean, it was fine. I mean, it wasn't fine. I mean, who am I kidding? It was terrible.
Tom and I were. I was just like, oh my god, And I'm sitting by Gabe, Gabe Nightshield. He had, a CD drawn and
Skeld. Check out the Skeld issue.
Yeah,
like
check that
5
out.
or 6.
So 3 of us are there, and Gabe's all saying, Qui-Gon, whatever his name is trying to get with Anakin's mom, and we're just cracking jokes back and forth, just cracking up, It was just Jar Jar Binks pisses me off. That's the bottom line.
Obviously, I mean
that's how the cookie crumbles.
Jar Jar Binks was still in the movie, so it becomes horrible. They still do outlandish, random things that they don't need to do, like, oh, you're in the Gungan City. You could go just back up to the surface and go to Naboo, or you must go through the planet core
to see a sea monster.
And it's just so George Lucas could spend another $500 million.
Right.
But it's funny that we're talking about this. This isn't just what our show's about. I swear we have real comic issues to talk about today too.
Big issues.
But I mean, the first 5 or 6 minutes, I was like, oh my god, I don't remember hating this movie. This isn't too bad. The scenery, it kind of looks old school. Yeah. Qui-Gon, and you just got to get over the
that's coming back.
Why don't you do that? The little back ponytail and the hangburn of the.
Put some beads
on
there.
The beaded up braid, like he just came back from Jamaica, Ian McGregor.
Yeah.
But they're looking badass enough, and it's like, oh my god, this is okay.
Yeah.
Trade Federation, that's kind of weird. Whatever, I can go with it.
Yeah.
They're doing some Jedi shit. Lightsabers can't. I didn't know they can melt the metal walls off of buildings, but I'm glad they can. And
thankfully,
I can get over that. I can bypass that. And then they get to the planet, and you're like, okay, this is kind of weird. Doesn't look that good. Even though the special effects are supposed to be amazing. And then Jar Jar shows up. It's probably 7 minutes in, and you're like... And up to that point, I was like, this movie isn't nearly as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah.
Only 7 minutes.
Yeah.
And then Jar Jar shows up, and he's like, oh, Misa's so happy that you... And I was like...
I'm going to have you do that impression every episode from now on.
How rude! And I almost died how shitty it was. I just had to shake my head. And then the best part, there was a person sitting right next to me, this lady, who, like, she was asking her husband, who's that character? Who's this character? Who's that? Like, first time she's ever seen it. She laughed during every Jar Jar scene. Yeah. Oh my god.
The horrible jokes.
Like, and then I would start laughing because she was laughing, because I was laughing at her, and then she would look at me and then think we were, like, laughing at Jar Jar together, and it was just
Did you
great.
have a moment?
And I was like, yeah, Jar Jar. I was like, Jar Jar's so funny. She's like, oh, how woo, did you hear him?
That's a knee slapper.
Lisa think he's so funny. But
no.
horrible. It didn't get any better. But we are Star Wars. You know, it's part of our genes. You know, we grew up with Star Wars. I love Star Wars. So does John. And you know,
not that movie though. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
then
I
just love Star Wars. You know,
and then
so
the Cape Crusader came through and saved the film for a good 20 minutes, and he had more than one line. I was pleasantly surprised. I don't remember him being so talkative. Who am I talking about? Darth Maul, obviously.
Cape Crusader.
Yes, he saves the day with this dual-sided lightsaber and awesome acrobatics, and what a great smile. I mean, that's a face only a mother could love, you know? But he's a great character, he really is.
He seriously is. I mean, he does.
That is the trademark
the
of
last,
Episode 1.
like, it's shitty. Then the pod race happens, and it's okay for half the pod race, and then it's shitty.
It drags on.
And then, yeah, it's just like, man, I forgot this movie was so fucking boring.
Yeah.
And then you get to the in-battle lightsaber scene, and you're like, no, this isn't half bad. All right, well, I wish I would have just came for this and then left, but whatever. Right. Because you're right, Darth Maul is good. The whole thing of Sith of 2, that doesn't make sense either. You know, it's like, I know they've explained it in the books and stuff, and I've read a couple of them, and I get it, but it's like, you can have so few Siths, you know, let's work together. But anyway.
How do they explain that then with, like, the computer game online, Old Republic or whatever, when
I don't know.
The trailer has, like, there's a hangar of a ship, and all of a sudden, like, 8 red lightsabers light up, and the Jedi are like, oh, you know.
Well.
So, you know.
That's I know some of you guys are playing Old Republic. It's out now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
my boss plays it.
Yeah, I heard it's awesome. So I don't know. I'm sure you guys let us know. How's that working? Is the Sith
do you
of
like
2
working with Sith of 8?
Okay.
How do you feel about
Enough of the terrible Phantom Menace. Actually, before we move to our next subject, John, are we gonna go to episode 2?
Oh man, we're gonna let them vote.
Okay.
Let's get interactive. Skylar cannot vote.
Episode 2 is by far the worst one out of the first 3 prequels.
Man.
Episode
3 for sure.
Yeah, I'll go to episode 3.
Yeah.
I'll go to episode 3. Whatever. I mean, you finally get to see Hayden, whatever his name is, you know, get messed up finally.
Yeah.
So that's fine.
But episode 2.
Episode 2 is terrible.
Yeah.
Natalie Portman's in it though, and is
that's cool.
Pretty hot.
Okay.
Well, I think that's a good big deal. And it's going to be a tough one. I obviously, you know, I think we almost owe it to the people to go, but we'll let you decide. Votes yay or nay if we should go see episode 2 when it comes out. Because he's doing all 6.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast they're releasing it, but...
Votes can be done at imj.com, VeteranMediaJunkies.com, or just send us an email at comicbooklook@gmail.com. So.
If we'll go, we'll bear it down, and maybe they'll have
vote.
What would it be? Green glasses for next time for when you know they're Natalie Portman and Hayden are just rolling around in the grass with those other things. And
I hope they're wearing shades in that scene, like these.
Dude, nothing is worse than that scene I've ever seen in my whole entire life.
I got shades on.
Okay, enough. On to the next.
Skylar's like. Skylar's not liking that.
Oh, Skylar. Who cares what Skylar thinks? God.
I do.
I fired him again this morning, and he still showed up, thinking that he could be a part of this. Run along, my Skylar.
Oh, man. Alright.
Okay, enough.
This episode of A Comic Book Look has been preceded by aCBL Cribs.
Welcome to the humble abode. I'm hanging out on the couch. I'm a guilty cat owner. I'm not the crazy lady with 8 million cats. I only have 2. So, I've had them for like 10 years. A lot of Asian-y kind of swagger. Lived in Japan for 5 years, so kind of let it speak for itself. Here is our impromptu set. We just filmed tonight. Table. We got just the classiest artwork. I don't even know how to begin to describe it, but Dark Avengers posters, custom framed. Love that stuff. Makes them pop. Tom totally agrees.
No, I don't.
Oh yeah. It's a good thing that we got to. Very cool. Dark Avengers #1 issue in color. I actually didn't have this issue at first. My version was, we talked about variants and I had the black and white version. So just having this, I got the #1 color cover after I had this done. In here is the man cave, but Tom, as it turns out, makes a mean Venom picture. So Tom made this for me 1 or 2 years ago.
Yeah, probably 2 years ago.
2 years ago. Good work on that. So I hang that up. I love it. Rock it. The Pog desk. This is my super old computer. I'm going to turn it into my inventory machine. Document everything in Excel spreadsheets. Keep it organized. So, what?
Some sick pogs.
They are some sick
Get
pogs.
this Jubilee one.
Yes. Oh, Jubilee. Oh, man. I got a few Star Wars books. That's about half my collection. I kind of sold the other half to Last Stop and everything, because once you read them, who has time to reread all that, you know? I have to reread all, or I have to read all those still. So. And this is the creme brulee, if you will. I have 5 white boxes so far, so I'm nothing compared to Tom's collection. I keep mine alphabetized. I'm really, because otherwise I would get incredibly lost. And a lot of the stuff is Dark Reign stuff, but we're getting more DC in there, so a little bit of variety.
I mean, a lot of people might not know, but John is a rapper. He is a hip-hop artist, and he spits it fat.
I don't know.
We now return you to your regularly scheduled program.
Okay, our next subject is something that we kind of talked a little bit in Watchmen, but it's just been blown up. Just ridiculous. You guys have probably seen it. I mean, it's on every single comic book website. It's all around the news, even on some bigger websites. You know, just these, what's going on between creators and suing and trying to get money out of what happened, and the differences between co-creators and, you know, who owes what. And I'm talking about Walking Dead, we're talking about Ghost Rider, and, you know, still Watchmen. It's a touchy subject, and it's kind of like a big black bruise on the comic book industry.
Totally.
You know, because
Takes away that carefree kind of feeling. All of a sudden people are butting heads and feelings are getting hurt.
exactly, and you know, it's like comic books are supposed to be fun and awesome,
Yeah.
and then
And
this.
when it comes to someone's idea, though, that is a touchy. It can
It
be
is.
a touchy area. Yeah.
And I totally understand it is touchy. This isn't anything new for the comic book industry. I mean, it's been going around forever. We're talking, you know, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster, you know, Superman. They have constantly been fighting for the rights for Superman and their family. Jack Kirby, the King Kirby. I talked about him, you know, on almost every episode. Almost mentioned him, and he's the king, and he's created almost everything, and his comic art in general just owes so much to him. And you know, he doesn't get his name on everything. I mean, he created every fucking character that matters for, you know, Marvel, and I don't know. It's, you know, it's been touchy subjects forever. Same thing with Alan Moore and the same things that he has. Well, now recently, this is a Gary Frederick. He's claiming he's the writer of the original first appearance of Ghost Rider, and he's saying that he owns the right. He should own the rights to Ghost Rider, and he sued Marvel for this 5 years ago. Case just ended, and he lost, and he doesn't own the rights to Ghost Rider, and then so Marvel countersued him for $17,000 for things he was selling at Comic Cons, merchandise like covers of the old Ghost Rider comic that he wrote, which another artist drew. He didn't even draw it. That guy wasn't getting any money off of it. Just he was pens and other things that had Ghost Rider. He'd sell them at cons. And so Marvel is suing him now for that $17,000, which to this guy, he doesn't have a lot of money anymore.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. And so now all these creators have got behind him to try to pitch up money. And, you know, if you want to donate, you know, just Google it, you'll find it. You know, I can post a comment, or, you know, in the comments I'll post a link. And, you know, it's great to support him, you know, but then again, you know, there's all these other things going on. You know, he chose to sue Marvel. This is a countersuit. He maybe shouldn't have been selling some other artist's artwork, you know, as his own. You know, is it crappy that Marvel is putting this against him? It's almost like, don't mess with us, else we're going to hurt you. Worse. Yeah. And that's a crappy way to be, but, you know, that is business. That is big business. Yeah. I don't like that, but, you know, you can see it.
Especially in this kind of culture. Thanks for the idea, Dirk.
Oh, yeah. Totally. But then again, there's a big controversy because the editor and the artist both say, like, well, he didn't just create Ghost Rider on his own.
Yeah, that's true.
They're saying that, you know, the artist had, you know, a hand in doing it, and the editor brought up the idea. And flaming head skulls on bikers have been around since way long before Ghost Rider was invented. And so, you know, who's to say that this person should have done that? What Marvel should have done is let him lose and then just not countersue him. Just let him go, you know, and just let things be, and he lost, and that's one thing you take, and he's bitter, and whatever. That's what I feel should have happened. Marvel's makes a lot more money than, you know, most, and they're owned by Disney now. They can handle this. But they're doing that as a slap in the face to creators. So in turn, another artist, Sean Murphy, he announced that he is not going to be drawing any characters not owned by himself, because he feels that later someone's going to try to sue him or get money out of him. It's not worth it about this. Granted, it's way different, you know, of having this writer selling an artist picture, you know, on a printed out piece of paper, and then Sean Murphy doing sketches of Superman or something. Yeah. I think it's a big difference, but, you know, Sean Murphy's just covering his tail, and he's an amazing creator. He's Survival of the Fittest, American Vampire, Joe the Barbarian. He's great, and so, you know, it's causing a lot of stir. You know, Walking Dead, everybody's favorite creator-owned title that everybody likes how it's all creator-owned. You know, the original people that made it, Robert Kirkman and Terry Moore, who are childhood friends, are now suing each other in a fight because our teenage friends are now in a fight because Robert Kirkman has Robert Kirkman money, and Terry Moore probably gets some good checks, but probably not as much as he would like. And he signed the contracts and blah 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 and this and that, and it's back and forth and getting ugly, and it's just something you don't want to see. Yeah. And it's like, I always want to think that Robert Kirkman, if a friend was going to come to him and need something, you know, he would be there for him. But then you got to also think, you know, it's Robert Kirkman, as a businessman, this is his job. You know, he's following the rules of what the contract said. At least that's what he's saying he did. Yeah. And I think Terry Moore is saying he's not. So I don't know. It's a big deal, and it's complex, and it, you know, it's kind of ugly. But you know, it happens all the time in comics, and it sucks. And still, we have all these comics coming out all the time. And are these just all future cases of something like this?
Hopefully not.
You know. And exactly,
it doesn't inspire people to work for it or participate in it.
Exactly, case, yeah. And it turns people off of different things when they see this kind of ugliness. Yeah. And I feel like, you know, as much as you want to have that mentality of like, can't we all just get along? It's just not. It's not working. Yeah. And who's to say that what the right thing is? You know, I think you really do. I know Jeff Parker. With all this going on, Jeff Parker, we're huge fans of him. Even though John probably doesn't even remember who he is, he writes Thunderbolts. And we love Jeff Parker. He's awesome. And he has a cool blog that I check out, and every once in a while he writes a really interesting post, and he did it recently on, you know, how you're going to approach who owns what and things like that. And he kind of stuck to the basics, but he had some different things that made me not really think about, like, okay, you co-created something, but did one person go to 100 cons in 1 year and try to do all the legwork of selling it, getting out there? Does that person get more money than the other person who co-created it? You know, what do you feel about that?
Well,
it's unanswerable.
Yeah, it's...
Because it's like...
the moment you have, even if you're like, I think, nope, just kidding.
You know?
That's a foot mouth kind of a...
It is, because it's like, you can't ever say that, well, I did 100 cons, that means I get, that equals out to be 8.5% more than you. I mean, that's just not how it works. And so these are all kind of things that you kind of have to discuss before it happens. And I think with comics, and especially indie comics, a lot of friends and just going to buy it and seeing how it goes, that can cause a problem. So, and then it also throws an ugly shadow on Robert Kirkman. Robert Kirkman is looked up to by a lot of people. Writes Walking Dead, Invincible, countless other books. We just talked about Thief of Thieves on our last episode. And, right away you're thinking, well, these guys are friends. Robert Kirkman wouldn't let this happen. He would have been able to work this out with him some other way. That's what you want to say, because you want to believe that every person that writes books that you like is a person that you like a lot and would never do anything wrong. You're like, oh, they're just like me. They would be good friends with me. All these people, but who knows? All we know is that their work is good. Just like every good artist was like a drunk and a horrible person to his wife and whatnot. But they put out like the greatest books, literary classics, and you find that out later, and it kind of like dishevels you. But it's still, they put it out, and you almost have to separate the artist from the art, and just take it for what it is. And it's like in this internet days. Without the internet, would any of this happen? No. Nobody would know. I mean, it would maybe.
It would have happened, but no one would have heard about it.
Maybe in Wizard magazine.
Wizard.
But other than that, I mean, nobody had any way to talk, and it's just like this internet and comic internet. Yeah. Just think of how little comics sell and all that. But like, there's the comic presence on the internet is just so huge.
Yes, it is.
Just even comparative to movies and other things, just because, the people who like comics are so into comics, and so it makes it different fans, and that's why everybody cares about this other kind of shit, that you see these people, like the big two, doing these things to your creators that you don't like, when in turn, they probably all sign contracts, they all follow the deal, they all set themselves up for this. It sucks.
Yeah.
Like Alan Moore signed the contract that if Watchmen went out of print, then he would get the rights. Watchmen never went out of print. Alan Moore never gets the rights. Alan Moore's bitter forever. He made the deal. He made the deal. And that sucks. I'm on Alan Moore's side as well, but it's just the way it is. Who knows? Just the way it is, the way it goes. I don't know. I just talk for a long time. I always do that sometimes. You gotta get your rants on every once in a while. I don't know, Johnny, you got any final thoughts or feelings?
I don't know, man. I mean, it just kind of takes me back to the Watchmen thing. I can't stress enough that I am just curious to see how it's handled in terms of, these creators and artists that are stepping up for the 7 books. Mm-hmm. In turn, with Ghost Rider, it's such a great film that there's not a midnight showing.
Yeah. Oh my god.
So we can't even do an honest review for you until like next week.
Great transition.
Yeah.
As some of our followers know from earlier and followed last summer, we never miss a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Ever. We don't do it. We go to the midnight showing. No matter how much we're going to hate it and how much we don't even, aren't looking forward to it, that's what we do. It's part of our job.
Green Lantern.
And, I mean, we went to Green Lantern. Yeah. And even though we didn't know it was going to be as bad.
I fell asleep there.
I was crying. And, we were planning for the last however weeks, we're going to Ghost Rider at midnight. Yeah. Of course, it's a comic book movie. They're going to have a midnight showing. We checked today. No midnight showing for Ghost Rider.
12:30 in the afternoon on Friday, or 10:30 or something stupid.
Ghost Rider is such a shitty comic book movie, Nicolas Cage, that we are going...
It did not land that midnight spot.
Didn't even get the midnight spot, so we're going to have to go on some regular night. It's not going to be nearly as cool. Yeah. The hype is going to be gone. We're already going to hear reviews about how bad it is.
Yeah. We wanted to do that for you guys.
Yeah, exactly. But that's okay. Well, you can look forward to our next show being on Ghost Rider, even though, I mean, is looking forward as, just, skip 1 week if you're going to do it, because we're talking Ghost Rider next week.
No.
It's not going to be
It's going to be spoilers all over.
It's going to be pissing fire all over our show.
Exactly.
But, I don't know.
Don't think
Check the
Skylar
trailer
has
out
that
if
in
you
this
want.
bag of tricks.
Yeah, Skylar does. Piss
Pissing
fire all over my house. He burned my house down the other week.
Oh,
Skylar, that's why we're taping here. I hate Skylar. Burned my house down. Don't worry, I'm building a new one. Exact replica. It will be done by next week. But anyway, okay, let's run through our stat quick before we do, dominate.
Okay. We'll save the good ones for last.
Okay.
Okay. Uncanny X-Men number 7. Okay.
What? That's it? Okay, come on, give it something. Give it at least a ratings. Ratings.
2 out of 10.
2 out of 10. Oh
Yeah.
shit!
Yeah, man, it was so bad. These aliens sing to each other in songs, so there's music notes flying everywhere, and it just didn't do anything for me at all.
And Greg Land is on art. Imagine that. That's why it was so shitty too.
So that's definitely going in the recycle then.
Yep.
Okay.
Terrible.
You want me to go next?
Yeah,
one?
keep going. Go through.
Okay.
Go through a couple.
Catwoman number 6. Awesome. Honeymoon is over, and yes, it is. They smack each other around towards the end of the episode. She's digging her claws into his manly chest like a Lifetime movie. Eat your heart out. It was a good issue.
John has seen every Lifetime movie.
It's true. Anyways, wow.
Just totally
I
good.
know, but I do.
Dude, Lifetime is cool.
No, it's
I
not,
watched
dude.
Project
The
Runway.
men are always the bad guys in those movies. That's why it cracks me up. Anyways,
Yeah,
man,
no.
incriminating. All right. It was a good issue all in all. She gets smacked around everything. So as always, I'll probably give it about a 8 out of 10.
Oh, nice. That is good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I read Batman 1 through 5, for the big DC show coming up, and it was, it was an okay series. I don't think it's anything to break new grounds or anything, but yeah, it's
I
good.
enjoy
And I
it,
can
yeah.
totally read it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. I'll do one more.
Okay.
Birds of Prey number 6.
Oh boy.
Oh, and who's on the cover? She says, "Hello, John."
Hi, John. It's Ivy.
It's Ivy. Hey.
I've been waiting for you.
Put some vines around you, pal. It was just a cool issue all in all. Ivy is just such a badass character in this. I just love her portrayal, new outfit, new look, everything. The team as a whole, it's fun. It's a fun book. It's starting to pick back up. I was a little iffy about it, but just all in all, it's fun to see them, kind of back in the saddle a little bit. So I did enjoy it.
Hell yeah, man. And I love to see you picking up DC comics and liking them. We'll start with, I got, my favorite Daredevil. I've been really excited since Mark Waid took over. I haven't read it yet, but I'm damn excited for it. John apparently gets to read all his books on the same exact day that he buys them. Well, I, on other hands, don't get to always do that. And I haven't read, any of my books. Flipped through a few of them. Next one, I'll just do my, kind of the 3 just great, iconic characters that are doing really good right now. And that is Daredevil, which is just so good because Mark Waid has taken over, made it a fun title. Wonder Woman, because Brian Azzarello has taken it over, made a really cool take on the way that she's going to do it in the other gods and how she interacts with them. And then Cliff Chang is going to become co-writer. The artist who's the normal writer, Tony Atkins is on it. He's doing a fill-in arc. But Cliff Chang is the normal writer, my favorite, our normal artist, and he's going to be co-writer. So him and Azzarello are going to write together. That's cool, whatever. And then the best book for your money at this time is Batman. It's beyond good right now. This whole Court of Owls is some of the best Batman that has ever been. Not just recently, not just in the last few years. I mean, we're talking. This is amazing. It is so good. That last issue where you had to turn it, you were in the labyrinth with him, and it ended on such a crazy note. This cover, Greg Capullo could never be doing better. And because of this, I went and looked at some of his Spawn stuff, and it's great. Who would have ever... I did before he was on Batman, I used to say, I don't like Greg Capullo. I don't like his style. I've never been a fan of, the Top Cow style and some of the early, even Spawn kind of style. And so I used to say that. It's like I feel like such an idiot for saying that now, because I mean his storytelling is so good and everything is so well, and he takes everything to another level that, I mean, I take back anything. I mean, he's so good. I appreciate everything he's done. And we're talking 6 issues, not a fill-in.
Still, yeah.
Almost a fill-in artist on every other DC New 52. We're still talking. He's going for it. How are you keeping on time and making it that beautiful? You're the master, Greg Capullo. You're the master. I bow down because I was such a fool before. And then when I look at your Spawn stuff, I'm like, wow, I should have saw this coming. And then you read those letters in Spawn, they're like, Greg Capullo is the greatest artist. You know, people knew this, have known this for years, and he's just been under the wraps. But yeah, those are my first 3 that I want to start with. Because damn, it's gonna be good. I can't wait to crack into those.
Right on. Up next, I haven't had a chance to read it yet, so this is one of 2 books I haven't gotten to read. X Factor number 232. That cover art is sick. Skylar, doesn't that make you smile? It's cool. I mean, it's trippy. It's fun. It's, I don't know, like it just jumped. It jumped off the shelf at me, like, hey, I'm here. I'm like,
it totally did.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
I've been off X Factor for a little while. I almost bought the issue because of that.
But yeah, I'm pretty curious about that.
Yeah, go for it. Oh.
New Avengers number 21. Thor, the
which
evil
is really
Thor,
called
the Dark Avengers, the new Dark Avengers. Evil Thor smacks the Avengers around, and it is so refreshing to finally see these characters meet the demise that they so deserve. It is so amazing. But honestly, no, they put up a really good fight. Spider-Man actually ends up saving everyone because Ragnarok's throwing everyone around. You know, so he's like web saving everyone. OMG. At the end of the issue actually results, spoiler, and the Avengers carrier firing up, and Norman's like, lol, they're retreating, and then they actually throw the fake Thor out and slams into the ground because they actually defeated him. They thought that they didn't.
Nice.
So, you know, it's kind of the only pet peeve of this issue, it's cool to see the Dark Avengers kind of in action, even though it's all against Evil Thor. But at the end it says, to be concluded. Next issue, so...
No more Dark Avengers, John.
No more Alpha Flight, no more Dark Wolverine, no more Dark... What the hell is going on at Marvel? Is Disney like, we need good guys? Like, that's pretty much all it is.
Next crossover Avengers with Mickey Mouse.
Exactly. Oh boy, Captain America. Oh, man.
Alright, the next, we'll go 2 at a time. Look at these. Look at
Noah's
these doing
Ark.
this. We both love Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
I've been loving it more than John has recently. John is a longtime Thunderbolts fan because he likes evil. Yeah. And so I like Funtime comics, and that's why I love Thunderbolts recently. And it just has been getting better and better. And I read the first probably half of this, and then I got interrupted from a person at work, and I was mad at them, but, you know, gotta do my job. Yeah. And so I haven't read the rest, but I loved it still. It's just great. I love this through time. I love Jeff Parker. I think he's so fun. And, you know, it's great. I know that you're still falling off of it. I mean, is this picking up for you? Is this doing anything for you?
No.
No.
It's cool, but you know what I like.
Yeah.
You know what I like. But at the tail end, you know, spoiler, they made the original Thunderbolt. So that is the only
do they?
Oh,
nice.
Crap. Dude, you just totally said you didn't finish it.
It's okay.
Oh, I just totally spoiled the whole comic.
Fake Baron Zemo. Oh, I know who's under that Citizen Z.
Yeah, Citizen V.
Citizen V, that's Baron Zemo.
So, that's cool. I'm excited to see that because I have every single issue. I was actually bored one day and reread some of, like, issue 50 in that.
Nice.
Yeah, I just want to check it out.
Oh, yeah, and then, last but not least, Fables. John picked it up, has been picking up Fables now, which is so cool. It's a great series. Bill Willingham, he has the new series coming out, Ferris as well, that's going to be the tie-in. Right now, you can get this at your comic shop. It's the Vertigo preview for 2012, some of the new books that are coming out from Vertigo. Be sure to check it out. It's free, and, you know, you get caught up on, you know, what's going to be coming out, because I know a lot of people are always asking, where can I jump on? Where's a good jumping on point? Any number one. Period. Especially from any indie book. Yeah. And so this is going to give you some, they're not exactly indie because it's DC owned, but it's creator owned for the most part. So, alright. Anything else, John?
Second week on the forums.
Exactly. InveteranteMediaJunkies.com, IMJNation.com goes the same place. Thank you so much for checking us out here. Leave your comments below. Tell us if you like us, you don't like us, what? if you made it this far and you are hearing me say this, just leave a comment and let us know.
Totally. Feedback is awesome.
Because, you know, I know it's hard to sit through me fucking talking for 30 minutes, but come on, you like comics as much as I do, so that's why you're doing it.
Also, if you're at work and you can like listen to headphones, we're a riot to just listen to over headphones.
Exactly.
Like, I'm lolling so hard. The Watchmen episode, I told my boss about the blue schlong thing, and he looked at me like I was crazy. But it was really funny.
You know, sometimes Blue Schlong can make for a good joke during that Watchmen episode, so check that out. That's issue 29.
It's a great episode. But yeah, no, and he had seen the movie, so he knows, but he was just like, you're an idiot.
And John just loves Blue Schlong.
Wow.
Wow. Totally fucking around.
Man.
Alright, guys. We'll see you next week. Veteran Media Junkies, a comic book look. Keep it real.
Keep it comics.